Hi, I'm Jeff McCausland, founder and CEO of Diamond 6 Leadership and Strategy. And what I want to talk to you today about is what is strategy and why do I need one, either for myself individually or for my organization? Well, if you think about strategy, it's a vision for the organization going into the future. It relates to three variables. Ends, what's the objectives we're trying to accomplish? Ways, what are the concepts, plans, principles we're going to apply to move us in that direction? And lastly, resources or means. Those means being people, money, time, capital items, if those are being devoted to accomplish the objectives we set for ourselves. In that calculation, most leaders will also ascertain that there's a certain amount of risk. Why? Because normally we'll never have all of the resources, people, money, and time that we'd like to have in order to accomplish a particular objective. And each of us has to make a calculation of how much risk that we can tolerate. We all have different, if you will, sense of risk and how comfortable you are with risk. You know, Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Facebook, once said, the biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that's changing really quickly, and ours certainly is, the only strategy is guaranteed to fail is not taking risk at all. So it's the relationship between these three variables, ends, ways, and means. And as we move along, we make a calculation of are we making progress towards those goals, and then we readjust our devotion of resources, perhaps even readjust some of our objectives and goals along the way. I like to think that one way of thinking about strategy and the critical questions associated with strategy is to kind of think about a football game and think about answering four questions. Who are we and where are we? Second, where do we want to go? Third, how do we get there? And last, are we getting there? And if you think about football, you know, a football game really kind of sets those questions for us in rather bold relief. Who are we and where are we? Well, who we are is identified by the uniform we're wearing and the position we play on that particular team. Where are we? Well, that's defined on the field by lines and markers. Sideline coaches and sideline referees spot us exactly where we are to position the ball. Where do we want to go? Well, we know exactly where we want to go. And that is we want to go towards our particular goal line. And so we make an assessment initially, and then we make up a plan to decide how we're going to get there. And we create plays to do that. Next, how do we get there? Well, we implement those plays as we progress down the field, hopefully. And lastly, are we getting there? Well, of course, again, we can look at those sideline markers. And if the markers keep moving in the direction of our goal, then we are moving in the direction we want. We are implementing goals that we wish to accomplish. And sadly, if we're not, we need to reassess, reassure ourselves, and think about the future. So I would argue each of us needs our own personal strategy, and as a leader, we certainly need a strategy for our organization as we move into an uncertain future. And that is a relationship between those three variables, ends, ways, and means. Thanks very much.